This video will be going over probability questions. So if you've already seen the first video, these are the other type of questions you might get. Or if you're watching this video first, make sure you watch the other one after. So this says, Sam has a coin. What is the probability of it landing on heads if he flips it once? And then you are given multiple choice. So is it very likely, likely, even chance, unlikely, or impossible? Now we know it's not impossible because a coin has a heads and a tails, so it's going to land on either a heads or a tails. And then we just have the other four left. Now, if we are thinking about it as a fraction, then the heads of a coin, it has one head and there are two heads in total. So he has a 1/2 chance, which is half as a fraction. So it's actually an even chance of flipping a head if he flips it once. Same thing if he were to ask about tails, it would still be a 1 in 2 chance, which would still be an even chance. This is another question you might get. What is the probability of a birthday on the 30th of February? Is it very likely, likely, even chance, unlikely, or impossible? Now, in February, there are 28 or 29 days. 29 if it's a leap year, 28 if it's not. So can there be a 30th of February? No, which means that it is actually impossible. Okay, so this question says, what's the probability of it snowing in the UK in July? Sorry, snowing in July in the UK. Now, because it's July, that means that it's going to be the summer. However, it is the UK, so rather than it being impossible, it's actually more likely to be unlikely. Now, because it says UK, we get all sorts of weather here. We get snow, rain, sun, wind, storms, everything in every month, really. So it's never impossible. So it's going to be unlikely. It's certainly not going to be very likely because it's July. If this said December instead, it would be a bit of a trickier question because you could bump it up to a likely, or it still could be unlikely because we haven't had snow in December in quite a while. Now, if this said, what are the chances of it snowing in July in Australia, for example, you'd have to have very good knowledge of Australia's weather patterns to know. If it said, what about the chance of it snowing in July in Norway, then it might be likely or very likely depending on their climate. So it's not impossible because it could very well snow in July, but it's going to be unlikely because it's July and it's the summer.